Dear sons and daughters of planet Earth, I'm Sananda. Yes, I'm here again. The mission given to me by Michael impels me to be here for as many days as possible. The moment is one of great attention, but I will not stop being grateful for this day, for this opportunity to be here with each of you. Today, by the conjunction of the numbers, of the date that you use, there is an open portal, a portal of light, a portal of elevation and evolution. Whenever a portal opens, beings of much light are allowed to act on the planet. It's like a party day, when you have many guests and each guest brings a gift. And most of the time, this gift is a quantum of light of the dimension of each one, helping more and more to this planet to consume the negative energy that is still over its atmosphere. I must tell you that the transmutation of energies is intense, because the light that comes from the central sun of Alcyon is very powerful and manages to eliminate much of what is generated, and almost entirely what has already been generated by you for eons of time. The changes on the planet, physically speaking, are nothing more than the removal of so much negative energy that has been placed in the soil of Gaia. Many bases have already been destroyed and these bases need to be completely buried, causing many shakes on the surface of Gaia. Nothing that happens is due to carelessness or punishment. What happens is the elimination, or the compensation of the negative energy that was in that place. If you watch, a lot of strange things are happening on your planet. On a daily basis, by your side, on your streets, in your cities. And each time, more and more strange things from your perspective will happen. Much has been raised above enemy foundations, maintained by an entirely negative energy. And as this negative energy is consumed, much will fall apart, much will crumble. But as we always say, everyone is where they need to be. Anyone who lives on a base that emanates negative energy and feels good there is really vibrating in the same range and will certainly not remain on the planet. So never and never forget that each of you is exactly where you should be. Each of you vibrates with where you live. When you feel extremely happy, at home, on the street, in the neighborhood, in the city, in the state, in the country, your vibration is totally compatible with that place, with the whole. No one will live in a place out of carelessness or a thoughtless decision of the soul. The higher self itself coordinates the changes, the higher self itself arranges the surroundings so that the changes are made. So if you move to a place, as you say, better, more beautiful is because the vibration of that place is attracting the vibration that you are. Where you are now is no longer bringing you the joy that it did long ago. You feel the urge to change, you look for new places and you find the places relevant to your vibration. And always observe that every change is a leap. It's a leap in life, it's a leap in economic status, it's a leap within your own society. Harder, tighter times can come from there. But therein lies the fact of learning, the lesson that nothing falls from the sky, everything has to be achieved with a lot of faith, with a lot of believing. And all that supposedly difficult process will pass so quickly that you won't even feel it. And after a while you will feel the urge to change again. Because your vibration continues to rise. Many are fleeing the cities and going to the mountains, to the interior of the planet. Why? Because the vibration of cities is no longer compatible with the vibration that you are experiencing. So the proximity to Gaia, to have your feet effectively on the earth, appeals to many of you. And many are making this move. However, we must also never forget that they are changes in life, changes in habits that have to happen slowly, gently. You can't want to change everything drastically overnight. So make your changes, but do it slowly, gradually, so that the adaptation to the new place takes place smoothly. Losses happen. There is no way to move from one place to another without losses. It was those places you used to go, it was the neighbors, it was the friends made. There is always some loss, but for sure you will be rising in the other place and new friends will come, new neighbors will come, all compatible with that new energy. So don't be worried if suddenly everyone decided to move. Everyone was suddenly dissatisfied with where they are. This is normal. The vibe of that place is no longer compatible with you, even though the rest of the family thinks everything is fine. But if there is a leap in life, everyone agrees, because everyone wants to evolve. So it's very beneficial, as long as it's done very safely, with planning, so that it doesn't become a big white elephant, which you can't keep later. Everything has to be done with care and planning. So, many here are asking themselves, but what about when we go to a place inferior to where we were? Why does this happen? I can say that there is a lesson there to be learned, and very serious. Every time you have serious financial losses, which even alter the way you live, it is past time for you to learn that lesson. It came several times and you didn't pay much attention, so now it has come so that you stop and think about where you went wrong. And if the lesson is learned fully, then surely soon, you will return to higher levels again, because the vibration will start to become incompatible and you will change. The higher self itself organizes everything so that it changes. So where you live is where your vibrations are compatible. Why are so many people together living in the same poverty? Because they help each other to be poor. Society itself discriminates, pushes away, pushes these people to places suitable for them. So they unite in a feeling of poverty, scarcity, suffering, pain, and that's what there is. Rare is the one who gets up and says, "No, I'm not obliged to live this, I'm going to look for something better." And he succeeds, because he leaves that range of vibration, of everyone, of hunger, despair, difficulty, scarcity. So in that place the vibration will always be the same, because everyone vibrates the same thing. So don't be alarmed by the things that happen on the surface of your planet. What you call disasters of nature we call cleaning, we call transmutation of energies, and whoever perishes, who was there in that place and left, it's because it had to be like that, that's why he was there, otherwise he would be in another place. And why was he there? To fulfill things his soul has done in the past. So that's the higher self's way of making that soul learn the lessons he needs. We have often said here, do not suffer the suffering of another. This is exactly why, because everyone is where they vibrate, where they like to live, because many times the higher self places people at a point, although their vibration is not compatible with that point. So he prefers to go down in vibration and go live somewhere else, in a place that vibrates lower. And then I would say that that soul shouldn't be there at that moment, but it was his choice, it was the choice of that soul to vibrate like that point on the surface, and when that point goes, he goes with it. This also happens a lot. So nothing happens by chance, nothing happens wrong. Either you are in the right place, because it is part of your soul journey, or you are there because of the choices of human consciousness itself. All this is respected. It's the same thing as a soul that comes to be a great person, and then he decides to fill his brain with alcohol and goes to drive, and in the end he has a serious accident and dies. Was it set for that soul to die like that? No, but it was his choice, he provoked it, he chose that path. There's nothing we can do, it's a choice of the soul. He chose to take the risk, ran and died. So don't suffer anyone's suffering. Every soul that separates from the physical body has a reason. It may be because of the soul's choice even before incarnating, which defined that he would leave that way. It may be the definition of the higher self, which put that soul there so that he could learn a lesson. Or is it by choice of the human mind itself? So everything is choices. So you are not going to change the path of any soul. What has to happen to every soul will happen, unless he also makes his own choices. Many times we understand that it is difficult for you to accept all this. You do not understand death. For you it is something absurd, something that Father/Mother God could not allow. And I tell you that this only happens because you are in this dimension. Because everything that happens, dying, being born, dying again. Being born again is specific to this dimension and this process of planet Gaia. There's no way to change this now. In the fifth dimension it will be different. So everyone is born knowing that one day they will die. So just learn to accept that everything comes from the soul, or that soul's choice, and there's nothing you can do about it. Everyone chooses where they want to live according to their vibration. And the higher you place yourself, the more you rise, the more you evolve in the dwelling place. Now, that all this is very clear, I am talking here about an honest process, a process of abundance and prosperity, generated by each one, within the divine laws, within the worthiness. Anything different from that does not apply to everything I said, because people can indeed grow up, become extremely rich at the expense of poverty and the suffering of others, and of course, this also reverberates, for themselves, and the lesson will come, hard and strong, but it will come.